Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on this channel. In today's video we are going to cover an important senior frontend interview question. The interview question is related to event bubbling and event capturing. So we are going to cover a code example. Let me just jump into that. So we have a button here with a div with id parent, a button with id child, and there is a click me text. Now there is a JavaScript involved here. So we are first taking the element id of the parent and element by id of the child, and we are storing it into a parent and child variable. Now the first thing that we do is we assign a event listener called click to the parent, and this is in two types. One is where the second parameter is true in the event listener, and in the second example there is no true parameter passed. So if you see here, there is a true parameter, and in the second example there is no parameter, so there is a absence of parameter. So this essentially tells the click event listener that whether this is a event capturing phase. When we pass the true as parameter, there is a event capture phase, and when we don't pass true as a parameter, then it treats it as a event bubbling phase. Similarly, for the child click event listener, we have a event capture event listener with true param and a bubbling phase param where there is no true param. So the interview question involves in guessing the output. So when I hit the button click me, what will be the result? So that is the overall question, and to understand the output we need to understand how event bubbling and event capturing works. Let me just go to the console and show you the output. So let it run, and now we hit the click button and go back to the console. As you can see, we have the parent capture phase followed by child capture phase, then child bubble phase, and then parent bubble phase as the output. Now the question is, how did this happen? Let's try to understand that with some theoretical concepts. I'm jumping back to the presentation, and here if you see, the first thing that happens when a click event listener is clicked or triggered is the event capturing phase. So in the event capturing phase, the event listener trickles down from the document to body to the div and finally to the child element. So in this case, the capturing phase, the event is trickling down. Once the event capturing phase is complete, the second phase that comes into play is the target phase, where all the event listeners on the target element are executed, and once the target phase is completed, the event bubbling phase goes from bottommost child to the parent, trickling upwards. So event capturing is downwards, target is on the child, and event bubbling is on the upwards direction from child to topmost parent. Now considering the logs that we had added, this is how the flow of code went by. When the button was clicked, first the event capturing phase was triggered, and the div id parent event listener with the param true was triggered, and the parent capture phase log was printed. Then the event trickled down to the button id child, and the console.log child capture phase was executed because that is the second event in the event capturing phase, because the event is going downwards. In the target phase there was no event listener, that is what in the target phase there was no console output. Then in the third phase, in the event bubbling phase, the event trickles upwards from child to parent. That is why the console.log child bubble phase got printed out, and then the console.log parent bubble phase got printed out. So if we compare this flow with the actual output in our code, we can see that the parent capture phase was executed, then the child capture phase was executed, then the child bubble phase was executed, and finally the parent bubble phase was executed. So this is the overall code flow, and hope you understood how the event capturing and event bubbling phase goes by. Now most of us try to remember this as the capturing goes from upwards to downwards, then bubbling from downwards to upwards, but many of us are not aware that the flow is that it is a three-way flow where event capturing happens first, then the target, and then the event bubbling, which is what makes this question a little bit tricky. And there are a few more variations of this question which you can try. And in the current video, I hope you found you understood the concept of event bubbling and event capturing phase properly. Now coming back to the presentation, if you found this video useful, then like the video, share your feedback in the comments, and subscribe to this channel for more such content. Yeah, so that's it from my end for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye.